patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Detroit! Detroit!
They get it to him running left. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the one.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Third and goal. This L.A. Rams defense will try to bow up once more. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
Oh, okay.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. Thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
You said what?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now Goff on first down. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Rams on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Goff. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Hot! Hot!
Rosen on 1st and 10. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. On first down, it's Gurley. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Hassan Reddick in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. From the 50, it's gone. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
No. Check. Patriot.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Lucky 56.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 11. Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game.
And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
76, tell him. 76.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Goff. Got some real estate inside the 30. Wide open receiver complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's gone. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Zerline's kick is good. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. With it on the return is Logan. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
What you got today, Black? What's the flavor, man?
Rosen will throw. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Eluding the pressure right. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, land it.
2nd and 10, it's Rosen again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, flip it to
Third
his
quarter
back.
and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And Fitzgerald has got it. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Now Dawson for the extra point. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Hello. Hello.
What up?
Oh, yes. This the lady. They call me my warranty? Yes. This lady, I'll be pissing them off.
Out come the Rams.
Yesterday they called me. She was like, you don't have it? I was like, oh, they hung up.
Something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things
I wanted to talk about my warranty.
And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script?
Then you can never call them back.
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Dayon Buchanan in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Goff. And pressure gets to him again. Dayon Buchanan in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. On the return is Peterson. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
The Cardinals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Rosen. And this one is incomplete. Well, the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. These guys had to punt their last. These drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the end zone, gone. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They got him, man. It's Woods. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Here's Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. After the interception, here's Rosen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And got his man complete. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A huge play there for Arizona. And even 70 yards. The rookie Rosen has the Cards on the move. Here's 1st and 10. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Detroit! Detroit! Leopard! Leopard!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Gets around him. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Rosen looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back now in Los Angeles. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. To throw on second down is gone. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. From the gun on 3rd down. Gone. Hard throw, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better. And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Watching now, Barney, Barney.
Now Rosen back into his end zone. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction. And that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. Now the Rams offense, they worked their way back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down, here's Goff. Steps away. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards. On first down, gone. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Brandon Williams. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Cardinals. The rookie Josh Rosen with 3 touchdown passes. And the Cardinals add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. This one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
It's not something that we see every game now. Todd Gurley held below 50 yards, and we are in the 4th quarter. Got to give a lot of credit. They've done a nice job of bottling him up.
They absolutely have. And a lot of times he can still find holes, but there haven't been the holes there. The offensive line hasn't created much space. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Listen.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. Here's Johnny Hekker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And it's taken in at the 9. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout,
because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But when I was calling college football, I saw a game that a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Mikel Roby-Coleman, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gurley again here on first down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. We talked early on about this defense needing to hold him under 100 yards. He's had a few good runs, but he is under 100, and maybe not coincidentally, they're trailing here in the fourth.
Sometimes the best plans actually do get executed, and so far they're on their game.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Goff now to throw, escaping the pressure right. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They have the big cushion here in the final stages of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel.
They real graphic on this show, ain't they?
Once you get to the stadium, they're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. A cool moment, the inaugural touchdown of the NFL career of Christian Kirk as his guys continue to pour it on.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaughan. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Los Angeles, so long, everybody.
what? Money, fucking waste of money. Right up to hey, you know what? Hey, Scotty, I swear to God, you just said something I thought was gonna come true. Seeing my game on seeing one of my songs on the game. Bruh. I be smoking, yeah, I smoke. I so low, they look my clothes. If we meet up, you play, bro, don't trust you niggas, I trust my pole. Don't get swept like it is for on the double, get no drop, no nose. Niggas will get a slow. Let's go with an Eskimo. What? But I'll call him Packy. Any more than so.